Good morning. Just going for another Freddie B Go wing and ride. I'm gonna share it with you guys. I'm out for a ride on the Go Wing out here in Fayetteville, Georgia. It looks like it's in the low 80s right now. I'm just gonna go out and find a place to ride and enjoy the day while it's nice and cool out right now. Just getting some adjustments in, so I want to keep the interior quiet while I'm talking to you guys. Like I said, it's now adjusting to about 82 degrees. I'm gonna go out and find a place to ride. Today's subject is, why do you ride? And I bring that up because many of you guys are been out there and you ride, and some people support your riding, others do not. Some of you out there are blessed to have a spouse that's willing to ride with you or ride their own motorcycles. Well, even though I'm blessed with a nice wife, she doesn't support my riding. So just earlier when I told her I wanted to go for a ride, she asked me, why? Why do you want to go out for a ride? Well, fellas, let me tell you something, that you should always be willing to do what you love and enjoy. There's other folks that won't support the things that you love to do, but you got to understand that sometimes, if it's not illegal or it's not harmful to you, that you got to do what you love to do, regardless of what other people think about what you do. That idea brings me to mind some things that happened to me in my past, where some people don't support what you're doing, even though they don't tell you that. My first wife convinced me when we got married to sell my motorcycle. At the time, I had a Kawasaki GPZ 750. That was a nice motorcycle. At that time, it was my boy racer days, I call them. And I used to race 1000s and beat 1000s with a Kawasaki 750. And at that time, that was before Kawasaki came up with their Ninja series motorcycles. So long story short, she convinced me to sell my motorcycle. My notes were only like $73 a month. I only had 3 payments left on this motorcycle, and caught myself listening to her. I sold the motorcycle to a friend of mine, only to later miss it. And the odd part was, she convinced me that would have saved us some money. A couple of months into our marriage, she convinced me to buy her a car. Now my notes went up to $250 a month. So that ends that idea that my selling my motorcycle was a nice financial decision, because it wasn't. Now bring back today's subject, why do you ride? They're clearing some trees over there, like they've been getting ready to build another community here. Progress is good, but I'm gonna miss my trees I'm used to seeing over there. Anyway, I started motorcycling a long time ago when I was a young teenager. A friend of mine had I think it was a Kawasaki 100 that I used to go over there, and when I stayed with them, I used to go borrow that to ride. Eventually, I bought that motorcycle from them. Later on, by the time I joined the military, I traded my 100 up to a Kawasaki 400, and at the time I was a cow man. Most things Kawasaki is what I loved, but I didn't discriminate against any brand of motorcycle. It's just at that time Kawasaki was it for me. And eventually I moved up from a 400 to an LTD 550, which, if you're familiar with that brand, it was nothing but a cruiser, but it was a nice cruiser, and I had that one for a time while I was in the military. A lot of motorcyclists out here. That's good. They got there enjoying the day like I am. Riding a motorcycle, if you're not realizing, is like what some people call an iron horse. Is reminiscent of the days the cowboys just got on the horses to ride. Typically, it was because they had to go somewhere, but not necessarily for the enjoyment. But that's pretty much what we can equate this to nowadays. Some of you ride your motorcycle occasionally, like I do, recreationally. Some of you commute on your motorcycles, whether it be to and fro from work or just out on your trips. Speaking of trips, I told my wife I was going to ride my motorcycle to Florida, back to where I used to live. And the next question was, why? You have a car. Why would you want to ride your motorcycle? And my son told me some time ago, says, Dad, now that you have a touring motorcycle, you need to do some touring. And I wholeheartedly agree with him on that. So, fellas, ladies, if you have a motorcycle, get out and enjoy it for your own reasons. In my case, the only reason I would ever stop riding a motorcycle anymore would be if I lose interest in riding, which is highly unlikely, and or if some medical personnel tell me that it's not safe for me to ride a motorcycle anymore. And at that time, maybe I'll consider a trike. I'm just not ready for that right now. I'm not getting on you guys who ride a trike, because that's your choice, and hey, enjoy it. It's still a motorcycle. Now, I mentioned in my GPZ, my LTD 550, and I moved up to the Kawasaki GPZ 750, which, like I said, I used to race on when I was younger. We did it safely. We didn't go down city streets, some country road somewhere where we can block off any traffic and there were no intersections. So we did be safe when we were doing all racing back in those days. Then after my first wife convinced me to get rid of my GPZ 750, I went without a motorcycle for a while. It wasn't until I went to the Philippines years ago, I wound up getting a Honda QT50. I think it was a Honda. It was nothing but a little motor scooter is what it was, and it was only a 50cc engine. So I did that for a while. Then I wound up selling that and got a Honda Helix scooter, which is a 250cc scooter, one of the original match scooters, I guess you can call them. But that was a nice ride for a while till I came back to the States, and I wound up getting a Suzuki Bergman 650 scooter. It was a 2003. It was the first year model that came out with them, and that was a really nice motorcycle. They called it a scooter, but it was really a motorcycle. I've embarrassed many Harley riders who didn't want to see a rice burner behind them, thinking they'd just up and leave me. But that 650 is a powerful engine, and that thing would get up and go, and I can keep up with them without a problem. I eventually sold that, being convinced once again to sell my motorcycle. But that's why I told my wife, you got to learn that if I don't have a motorcycle, I'm going to eventually buy something. So you'd be wise to let me keep a motorcycle, even if I don't ride it, because that'll at least get the itch down whenever I feel like riding again. Eventually, I knew a Suzuki dealership up in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, who gave me an excellent deal on a Suzuki Bandit 1200. That's right, the Bandit 1200. That was a nice motorcycle. But yeah, that was a nice all-around motorcycle, and that was one of the first motorcycles where I could hang with the standard bikes and or with the sport bikes. Eventually, I wound up with a Honda ST 1300. I traded in my Bandit 1200 and my Suzuki Bergman 650 for the ST 1300, which was a marvelous motorcycle. And I loved that thing for many, many years. I had it for at least 7 years, I think. And before I traded it in for my now 2018 Goldwing. Now, back in some time ago, before I went and did all this, I missed my Bergman 650 so much that I went out and bought another used one. And this time I had a 2005, same color, silver, that had a one of those maxi tote bags on the back of it. which came in a lot of handy going back and forth to work. The only thing I didn't like about that, since I had a little commute, was it had a small gas tank, and I found myself, even though I was, didn't take much gas, going to the gas station a lot.
During my ride, I failed to mention that prior to getting the ST1300, I had a 2007 Suzuki Hayabusa Limited. It was a nice bike, but it was enough for me to realize that I was going to get in trouble riding this motorcycle.
So, 4 years later, I sold the scooter only for I can buy some accessories for my Gold Wing. And I traded my ST1300 in for this Gold Wing. So, the only time I think about it is this Gold Wing is nice. It does some nice things, but because it looks like the ST1300, because of its shape and design, you just can't corner it as much as you could the ST100. The ST1300 set up a little higher, and because of the V engine in it, you get a higher lean angle than you could on this Gold Wing with this Boxer 6. So it was a wonderful bike. My only regret was I wish I could afford to have kept this bike. Kept my ST1300 and bought this Gold Wing. I don't regret buying the Gold Wing at all. That was a wonderful purchase. So again, out here enjoying nature. Now I hope you guys can hear me clearly in here. I'm trying out my new lavalier mic. I got the Media Mod on the GoPro 8, and that's the bikers right there going through, and as well as the Power DY's lavalier mic. So it's good to see fellow bikers out here enjoying the day. I could have called a couple of friends together, but I said I'm just gonna go out and ride by myself today. I thought coming this way we're gonna be a little less traffic, but I was wrong. A lot of people out here this morning. The point I was making to you earlier is, in life, you got to enjoy what you like. And if you like doing something, if it's legal, don't let anyone stop you from enjoying yourself, no matter what they think of it. Because you wind up being miserable, and they're going living their lives, but you're the one that have to live without doing some of the things you want to do. So, if you like riding, guys, go out and ride. If you like sewing, go sew. But that's not the kind of thing I'm talking about right now. I'm just saying, enjoy your likes, and people may not like what you're doing, but you don't worry about what they think of your hobbies. Next thing you know, they'll be trying to control other things in your life, only because they realize they can influence the other ways of doing things, and you're the one that wind up losing in the end. This Media Mod does make the GoPro a little bigger, but I can still see over it. I'll have to make some adjustments later on.
I later realized that when I attached the Media Mod, I attached it too high up in front of my face. But I was able to lower it now where you're able to see me, so no longer blocking my view as well.
On this ride, guys, I'm just out to enjoy nature. See the trees, the tree-lined road. Kind of remind me on some parts of Virginia that used to be before they widened the roads. But this is really nice. I'm enjoying that. Remember, guys, you know the reason why you ride. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your ride. Stay safe.
Hey guys, it's been a great experience working on my second video. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say in this video and some of the scenery along my ride. I look forward to making future videos that I hope you enjoy those as well. Take care.